Oh, hello, Kyo. I was completely hypnotized by the music, actually. It also happened to me yesterday. Someone showed up and said hello, and I completely ignored the message until I stopped streaming. Great, great. Yeah, the music is kind of fitting for throwing this type of drapery. I should start my religious painting arc. Would be fun. I think every artist should go through that. At least once. Well, the irony is, aren't all paintings religious, actually? Even if people don't want to admit it or don't think about it. It takes a whole degree of faith and irrational belief to do what we do. That's for sure. Assuming you are still at work? What did you do for work? I don't even remember if I even asked you. Probably I did, but I just forgot. Oh man, immigration paperwork. That's not a usual position, or at least I don't know many people working in that field. Does it get kind of personal for you, or is just executional, like paperwork, like sign here, sign there, send this, and verify that? I know some immigration jobs can be like really. Let's see. I see. So like you said, it's basically like an office job that like you would be doing the same job regardless of what type of office you're working, I'm assuming. Anyway, enough work. Tell me about your projects. Like, are you working on a new video, or I don't know, are you targeting more specific figure drawings for this Kimo thing? Yeah, it has overlap with a lot of Joffips. Joffi's ops. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's the best place to be. Where you get to see and move a lot of money that never reaches you. Yeah, man, it's insane when you start dealing with bureaucracy and governments and you see the numbers they move. It's just like crazy. Oh, that's great. Writing is always good. Yeah, I was wondering about that. When you do a voiceover for your videos, I'm assuming almost certain that you have written about it beforehand, but is that something you just go and rant about? Like you have your ideas and your key points and you just start narrating, or are you actually reading your writing as is? I'm always curious about the process of doing that. It's like what I guess what I mean to ask is it like a script that you write for yourself and then you just do the voiceover, or you just go and kind of wing it and take multiple takes and whatever you like best is the final one? Yeah, for me this Kimo thing is kind of taking over my life right now. It just started as a silly side project and it's become like almost the main thing. To be fair, I'm enjoying it. It's been a while since I've done this insane amount of live drawing or figure drawing or whatever you call this. Like everything you do, you always give it your all. Yeah, pretty much. So you write in your journal and rewrite in Word. Well, I guess you kind of try and clean things up and put a little bit of order into the ideas and thoughts, and then just record. Yeah, that makes sense, because actually your voiceovers sound pretty natural in the sense of it sounds like you're thinking and talking. It doesn't sound like you're reading, if that makes sense. I see. I would write it down. Like, here you take a deep breath. Here, drink some tea. Hydrate. Art is artifice. Isn't that the word? Even the hmms, I see. You could call it a liar or you could call it an actor. It's another form of art. An art is lying. Yeah, man, you have a great voice. You should do a tutorial on how to sound deep and cool like you. Yeah, but it's a different kind of tutorial. Well, I guess if people like them, then you have a problem. Better to not know. Yeah, Bo Bumham said in his song, "Art is a lie." The man says a lot of things in his songs. I think a better tutorial would be how to make videos that represent your personality, but I'm more interested in swapping the word video for art. Well, that is a good point, and you are already kind of doing that, so good on you. You probably can't play it on stream, and this is super nice, but this ambience playing right now reminds me of the second movement of Carl Klein's piano concerto. So you say I can play that on stream. It should be safe. people making this music gotta take the inspiration from somewhere, right? Oh, I can't. I see. That sucks. It'd be cool to be able to just chill, listening to what I would normally listen. Maybe one day YouTube gets a feature similar to, I don't know, Instagram or TikTok, where you can actually feature people's songs and they get paid. Artists getting paid for their art is starting to feel like a thing from the past. Yeah. I wonder how it was a few years ago. I mean, in a way, we have it easier than ever, but it's also true that the more ways you can get paid, the more ways people have to rip you off. So companies getting paid for your art is what's getting trendy. Yep, pretty much. And the irony is that a lot of us actually chase that and feel proud for allowing corporations to exploit us. Isn't it lovely? Catching at a distance is great. I should do this more often. Not zooming in, not zooming out, just treating like it's paper. That's worked really well. One of the biggest issues we all have with digital, the endless zooming in, to realize that then nothing reads properly. I love those huge online pieces where you can keep zooming in and finding details within details. Yeah, those are vector based, but it's really cool. I guess it's another thing that I would like to make one day, but I'm probably never gonna do. I like the idea of it, but probably I wouldn't enjoy the execution. What does it mean based on vectors? Well, basically as a whole system to make digital images. This is raster based, so this is made with pixels. And I'm literally modifying the pixels. The vectors is more like, it's used in graphic design and other stuff, but there are applications where you can draw directly with vectors. That's what allows the the drawing to be able to zoom endlessly. If you had to do that with raster images, it would be a huge file and it would be a mess. Yeah, math. That's the way to put it, Kyo. And it doesn't feel as nice to paint on a vector-based software. Really cool to do precise things and to rescale things to any size. starting to feel really tempted by the idea of grabbing a smudge tool and starting to bend all these soft and smooth edges. But I also want to keep it true to the limitations, quote-unquote limitations, I decided to use for this type of drawings. That it's just like just using the 100% opaque and the eraser. I'm not even color picking, or yeah, it would be worth a try, but like I said, I'm really enjoying the results I'm getting by just using, you know, the black, quote unquote, it's not black, but this is my black, and then the pure eraser, and getting all the values in between by just drawing and erasing, and also managing to mix the colors while keeping the brush strokes. I think it's giving it more intention. So, because lately, whenever I've been rendering things, I've been abusing this smudge tool, and I feel like when you do that, you become less and less intentional with your brush strokes. So that's why right now I'm getting at that point where it's starting to feel rendered, and I feel like, okay, now it's the time to grab an airbrush or a smudge tool and do what they do best. But as a practice, and I'm just romanticizing the idea of practice, I wanna keep it pure. I just got a bunch of work dumped on my desk to process after a relatively chill past few hours. Oh man, that sucks. I guess you get to do whatever you can do and the rest can stay there for tomorrow, right? Maybe not. I don't know. Almost 2 hours before they release you. Yeah, I guess I could use another brush to smudge. That is a good point. I always have this tendency of prioritizing the practice or the idea I had in mind before the piece. It's like yeah, if I use an airbrush or a smudge tool or a smudge brush, I can get a better result on this painting. Probably it would be the best for the piece, but I have a tendency to not care that much about the piece, because like in this case it's not personal, it's just a practice. So I prioritize the practice, and in this case my objective is to learn how to use this particular brush. So yeah, that's what I was saying before about romanticizing the practice, that is this idea of I want to stay pure to the idea of what this practice is. And well, the good thing is I'm recognizing that, and I can act accordingly instead of being frustrated because the result might not be as cool as it could or as I would like. But in Clip Studio Paint you can make a smudge blending version of any brush. I wonder how this Krita inking brush would work as a blender. Yeah, I wonder too. If I'm very honest, I have not used any other brush or any other tool or anything in Krita. I just opened this, found the chrome brush, and that's all I've done. So I have no idea how things work. I know you can press M to flip the canvas, and I just made a couple shortcuts to use the lasso and the transform tool, because that's pretty much everything I use. And other than that, yeah, I don't know anything else, and I don't feel like messing with it right now. But yeah, this brush as a smudge tool, if that's even possible, it would be really cool. It would create weird effects. I think this is the longest piece I've done for this challenge so far, and I'm actually enjoying it. It doesn't have to be all 5-minute poses. Oh, what you mean about that pursuit mindset? I find it creeping in sometimes. Most recently felt it in the pencil piece I'm working on. I must fill the page with only this pencil, no black pastel. Yeah, it's kind of creeps in, but if you recognize it and you are aware of why you're doing it or why you're not doing it, then I think it's fine. In your case, like I said before, if it's a personal piece, it makes a lot of sense for me that you do whatever the piece requires you to do to get the best result, because what you care the most is about the piece. It's not an ego thing about you being able to use that pencil because that's cooler than anyone. But in my case, it's literally what I'm doing. Like, it's about my freaking ego and my training and my learning, and I'm like, I want to learn to use this brush and I want to use it for everything. Maybe it's not the best for everything, but it's pretty versatile. One of the things this brush does best is being versatile. So I want to push the limits and be like, how much can I actually push this thing and how far can I get before it's absurd and stupid. But in art, doing something absurd and stupid, sometimes it's the main selling point of someone. You know, like you said, filling up the entire, page with a little 0.5 mechanical pencil. It's it's the whole point. Like if you record that process and you have it on video and your audience can see that, it's like, this guy is nuts. He just did that. And that's part of the art. Like, it's doing something that no one else would be willing to do. Sometimes it's not all about art, but that's one way of seeing art. But yeah, I guess I have a massive ego problem right now. Although on that front, I believe most artists actually suffer more from a lack of ego rather than from an excess of it. So true, I live for the impractical beings, so it's likely to be the most unique interesting since no one else would bother. Yeah, exactly. What makes art unique? That you bother and care about things no one else does. Well, there is a market for that. Some people like to know the artist suffered greatly in the making of a piece. Yeah, guess you could see it that way. We don't buy art, we buy human suffering. Especially voluntarily, human suffering. Well, I don't know if I'm one of those. I don't buy that much art. I'm broke. But yeah, I guess I have great respect for the people that suffer making art. I don't know. Personally, as a corporate entity, the freer the suffering, the better. What do you mean by that? You mean like the less suffering, the better? Or if suffering is a free choice, it's better? I'm actually enjoying a lot more the clothes than the face. Should probably be an abstract painter, I swear. Oh, I see. As in making money. Yeah, yeah. You want people to suffer for free. Yeah, for a second I thought you were saying, you know, free them from suffering. But nah. Let them suffer for free, of course. I want to go home. I feel you, man. I feel you. Honestly, I don't know how you or people do it to have an office job. If I have to have a job, I'd rather be something physical. It's a lot easier for me to just get in the mood of I'm doing something, I'm cleaning something, I'm fixing something, I'm building something. Even if I don't want to be there, it's a lot easier to just focus on what I'm doing, and then time goes by and all of a sudden it's time to go home and I can go do my thing. But a job where you're just sitting somewhere, and of course you're busy and you're doing things, but I don't know, the fact that it's not physical makes it so difficult for me. I didn't have an alternative I'm okay with. Yeah, no, that makes sense, and I'm assuming you can learn to be in any place and do anything. It's just, yeah, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, but for me, if I have the choice, I'll take physical labor over office most of the times. Unless, like, what you're doing, or if you really like what you have to do and that requires you to be in an office, that's a different case. But as in, I get a job because I need to pay bills, that's true. Yeah, office jobs are better paid. That makes sense, yeah. And usually you have better perks, and usually they kind of, as long as you deliver your work, they kind of leave you alone. So, as perks too. Well, maybe it's just a myth I have in my head, because I have never actually done it, you know. The closest thing I've done to an office job has been working on graphic design or some vectors or illustrations that I didn't really want to make, and I was just suffering here, sitting on my chair doing work I didn't care about for shit money. And I was like, I'd rather be, you know, carrying heavy stuff. I work at the horse riding center, very physical, but shit money, but I do it because I love it. I love the concept of horse center. It sounds so high tech, and I just imagine horses on a suit. Before this job, I work at my uni library, so it's a temperament thing. Even still, others around me seem more well adjusted to this whole office job than I do. Let's see. Well, working at a library doesn't sound that bad, at least on paper. But I guess you're behind the desk, but you might have some, you know, access to a computer, and if there is nothing in particular to do at that moment, maybe you can actually be reading books or writing something, or, you know, even sketching on a sketchbook. I don't know. Doesn't sound terrible. And you can tell them to shut up. It's part of your job. Isn't that a dream? Also, Jordi. Yes, Jordi is my real name. Does that sound, I guess for you it sounds like exotic or like a nickname. Yeah, it makes sense that Americans see Spain as a desirable alternative. And with the amount of money you people need there, you come over here and you feel like you're rich. And you are not missing out on anything. It's not like going, because that happens everywhere. Like you can go to a third world country and with whatever quote unquote first world wage you can live almost like a king, but you're missing out on a lot of things or services or whatever. But the gap between wages in Spain and the States still massive, but we have it pretty good here for now. No, it sounds like a name, just didn't see any of your handles online load. Yeah, I'm trying to change that. You can call it rebrand, but don't even have a brand. But yeah, I'm just trying to use my real name everywhere I can because I'm just sick of just nicknames and rebranding issues, and so I just try to use my name for everything now. That way I have to force myself to keep it real. Yeah, exactly. It's desirable as a holiday destination. Enough about US. I get it, I get it. It's pretty close to getting political. Yeah, I guess it's similar for us when we think about Asia or South America, but we wouldn't go there, make a living. Of course, unless you have a shit ton of money and you can make sort of an investment, or you go there, retire. But like I was saying before, like if you go to some places in Southeast Asia or South America, you can live really cheap, but you're also missing out on a lot of services and connections and stuff like that. In Spain, that's not the case. Or at least compared to New Zealand, dude. Like the fact that in New Zealand there is no, I mean, yeah, you can buy things from Amazon, but it takes forever to get there, and a lot of things are not even available, or a lot of things they made over there and you cannot get them, or internet connection within the country is cool, but for the rest of the world it just sucks because it's just laggy everywhere because you're so far away from everything. Compared to all that, Spain is still a pretty good sweet spot between good and bad. We're working really hard on ruining all that, but that's another issue. Also, Kyo. Is Kyo your real name? Or... because that doesn't sound American at all. Oh, I see. Well, in my head, I will imagine it's your real name. Jordi, have you tried multi-streaming on Twitch? No, I haven't, and I've thought about it because, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It might be easier to find an audience over there, because there people just stream and you can get random people to show up. Here in YouTube it's almost impossible to get someone. Yeah, it's in my mind. Like, I know I still want to use YouTube as my main place, because even though like getting discovered while streaming it's really hard on YouTube, it's still a really nice hub where you can literally post videos and post communities and share images and stream, and it's all happening at the same place. So, and as a platform I like it better, and as a consumer I like it better. But yeah, like I thought about actually using Twitch as a way to maybe, yeah, just get more attention or funnel some people over here over time. I just right now I don't want to add an extra step on using Restream or whatever service you have to use to stream to multiple services. And also I have to think about, I'm pretty sure there are solutions for that, it's just that I haven't gotten my head to it, but I have to think about the dealing with multiple chats from different sources. I don't know how I would handle that with OBS, and I'm gonna need like 35 screens to just keep track of everything. It's just an extra layer of complexity that I didn't want to add. But yeah, I might try that, because Twitch seems more suited for what I'm doing right now. I guess once I start, if I ever get to, once I start making YouTube videos and I can get people to view my videos and subscribe and follow and all that stuff, it's more likely that they end up showing up to a stream randomly. Yeah, there might be something that unifies chats. I know for multi-streaming it's relatively easy if you use one of those services, and then you just have to go to a single website and they kind of handle that for you, and you can connect that to OBS or something. And probably there is a solution for the chat. And if not, I get Santa's little helper to read comments for me or something. Yeah, I can bully the Twitch chat and be like, no one likes you people. Go to YouTube instead. Long term, I still think that YouTube is the best platform. Also, the analytics and metrics from YouTube are insane. If you really want to learn and know what you're doing and what's going on, this is probably the best platform. Yeah, TikTok is a whole can of worms on its own. Just, I don't know, TikTok is scary in more than one way. But yeah, videos would do well there too. But I don't know to what point do I really want to just, you know, get views and traction and audience, or I just rather not get as much, but at least get the people, you know, get more people that are interested in what I'm doing. Because I get the feeling that on TikTok you have to do like kind of weird shit if you want to get some traction. Personally, I have never used it, and I hope I never will. Oh, but you want me to use it, great. Yeah, I know some artists are successful on TikTok, but Probably not for this type of art that I'm making, because if I was doing like more stylized, flashy, colorful stuff, or you know, had a particular process that it's really unusual, or I like to make, I don't know. Also the audience on TikTok, I feel like I would just end up hating people and clickbaiting everyone into hating me. And I don't know if I want to invite that in my life right now. I think if your intent is to make videos and have this as a hub for everything, the streaming on Twitch might not move the needle much. The people already using Twitch are there because they prefer it. Yeah, that I thought too. Like I think it's hard. I think it would be easier to move people from YouTube to your Twitch stream than to move people from Twitch to your YouTube. It's like the type of public using those platforms, I think it's really different. I don't know, maybe I'm just biased because I personally like YouTube as a consumer, and I'm thinking if I like this as a consumer, it's more likely that my quote-unquote audience would like this too. So you would want your YouTube audience to be an audience that is inclined to spend most of their time on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. That was my thinking when I started thinking about streaming. I was like, do I want to use YouTube? Do I want to use Twitch? Do I want to use Kick? And yeah, my reasoning was that, like, I intend to have this as a main hub for my social media, because I fucking hate using social media, but I think one thing I can handle. And if I have to pick one thing, I'd rather be YouTube. So yeah, because that's the thing. Here you can get to do everything. Still worth a shot trying the Twitch thing, but we'll see. I think I'd rather invest my energy in actually making videos or shorts. I'm not a big fan of shorts, but I know they're doing pretty well on YouTube, so maybe I can capture some of these drawings and make some shorts and then just talk and rant about religion and bullshit, so I get people triggered. In a good way. Yeah, TikTok could be something venomous for you. I would become like evil Steven. Just go there and rant about my ego and how everyone sucks at drawing and they're selling their soul to do shit art no one cares about, no one, not even themselves, and yada yada yada. And probably that bullshit would go well in that platform and I would get a lot of traction and I would hate it because, yeah, that's not what I want to be. You're right though, no one is on Twitch to watch long for videos, yeah, but for people already on YouTube would be more inclined of viewing them. Yeah, that's why I think, like, because for me, if I find a YouTuber that I really like and I watch their videos, they're already making videos and I know they're streaming on Twitch, I'm more likely to go watch them live on Twitch than the other way around. Yeah, streaming art is really weird, and it's not about ranting in the sense of, oh, streaming art sucks and we have it bad and all that stuff. It's just almost like a self-feeding problem where people that come to an art stream, it's different. Like, yes, they want to be entertained, but not so much. They kind of just want to hang out and chill, because most art streamers are just focused on drawing and streaming. Yeah, you can talk and you can philosophize or you can answer questions, but most of it is just, hey, we're here just chilling. And a lot of the time an art streamer, it's not even talking and the audience doesn't even want them to talk. They're just having some company, someone to, you know, you put the stream on and you do your own thing, and yeah, you're watching here and there what's going on, and you can ask a question or you can listen to my thoughts and whatever, but you don't really want to be entertained. But a gamer streamer is just literally putting up a show for you, or other type of streamers like in real life, or reading stuff on Reddit or answering questions. It's a completely different public, and it's like I said, it's like a self-feeding problem, where the type of audience that it's likely to watch a streamer, it's not the mainstream at all. And if it became mainstream, if you want to become an art streamer that it's putting up a show, then you're not gonna get the cool audience. You're not gonna get the people that ask you interesting questions or that are actually interested in art. You're gonna get the people that want to see you putting up a show. So it's really hard to balance, I think. It's a really bad business. If monetizing is the end goal, then Twitch is obviously what to aim for. I'm not so sure about that, because I don't know how monetization works on Twitch, but well, yeah, monetizing streams is I don't know, as a business, it's a weird thing, but I still think YouTube is better in that sense. Especially because I see the streams as something I do for myself and to enjoy, because it's the way I like sharing things. I don't like the idea of creating content as much as just clicking a button and all of a sudden I'm doing what I usually do. And again, maybe I'm biased for YouTube, but I still think that from all the platforms out there you can monetize, YouTube is kind of the fairest one, the one that it's gonna rip you off the list, I would say. Like, it's not like freaking Instagram that you can have people with millions of views and not making any money, and then other people getting millions, or like Spotify, where you know, it's almost exponential. It's not a linear growth. Like, you can have X amount of song plays on your Spotify and you get no money at all, and then someone that gets like a little bit more gets millions, and it's just like, how does that even work? I feel like YouTube in that sense is a bit more, you know, they keep better track of what to pay everyone. Oh, you're talking about the subscription system. Yeah, no, that's true, because there the subscription is kind of direct. Although now on YouTube, you also have that feature of becoming a member or something, right? That it's like a subscription on Twitch, where people just give you money to you directly every month instead of just hoping to get money from the ads. I don't know, I can't even think about monetizing right now, because it's, at this point, it sounds like almost impossible and unachievable. I'm just thinking about this as, if I want to make it as an artist in one way or another, I need to put my work out there. And what is the way that I'm most likely to put my work out there is by doing this, or by making videos, or by, you know, I just, from all, like I said, from all the social media options, I find this one the one that creates less resistance for me. So I'm just gonna start with this and see what happens. The beginning I didn't even want to make videos, but now that I've been streaming for a week, I'm more excited about actually making videos, and I don't know, maybe making tutorials, making video processes. So that's good data. you literally get a consistent monthly salary from subscriptions. Yeah, I guess it's like having a Patreon or something like that. It can be big or small, but it becomes consistent according to what you do. Yeah, and I know it's not really smart to just start streaming directly, but I didn't want to make up excuses for myself, because I knew if I want to stream, I should start making YouTube videos, then get a little bit of a following on YouTube, and then once I have a little bit of a following, I can start making streams. But I just want to stream, so fuck it, I'll just click go live and start streaming, and I'll figure out as I go. Because if not, I would be just, okay, let's make a video, let's learn video editing, let's record myself, and you end up in this loop of you're always doing something for the next step, but you're never doing the thing you want to do. And I've been doing that for too long, so fuck it, I'll just do the thing that I want to do, that is click go live and rant about my thoughts. Yeah, true. Streaming on both platforms from the same amount of effort sounds good. You never know what can happen. Yeah, it is really comfortable, because right now I'm streaming, but I'm also recording my screen so I can have footage on my computer to make potential videos, and I'm already getting pretty comfortable with the idea of recording. Like the first time I tried screen recording, it was like you kind of freeze. You're like, oh, this is getting recorded, so how do I draw? How do I do these things? And now I don't give a fuck anymore. And the same with going live. It's been just a week, but now I'm actually really comfortable with just putting my weird face out there and talking out loud and drawing, and I don't care how long it takes or how good or bad it looks. It's, as an artist, I think it's a really good development, because it's a whole level of intrusive thoughts and insecurities and personal issues that you can learn to handle. And so far I'm feeling really comfortable with it. Got the healthiest approach. Yeah, for once in my life. Except the schedule. I've been going to bed like super late, so that's not really healthy. But other than that, yeah, exactly. Doing what I enjoy, so fuck it. Just, I realized that all these years I've been doing all these things, learning these skills, trying to build these portfolios just to get a job and make money, and I was just really not doing what I enjoyed. And it's like, why don't you just do what you enjoy, you know? If I'm gonna be broke anyway, might as well be broke but have a bunch of cool drawings that I actually care for. Yeah, art as a job should never be a goal. I think it's okay and it's really cool if it happens. But the goal should be the art itself. I mean, some people can handle it to just, like Steven said, like you do what you need to do to get your job and get your professional skills or whatever, but you never give up your personal art. And if you can handle both things, then I think it's healthy and doable. But for most of us, it just becomes you gotta sacrifice one for the other, and that's never a good business. Your phone sending random messages? Yeah, that happens to me too. Especially on those TikTok girls accounts. Just send random emojis of vegetables. But it's the phone. Don't give me that face, Kyo. You know what I'm talking about. We have all been there. Okay, we're not here to judge. Yeah, 100% agree. The goal should be making what you want to make. And then you'll do whatever it takes to maybe get paid for it. But if you don't get paid, it doesn't feel that bad because you still did what you wanted to do. That's the whole deal. I'll never be happy with it though. That's against my nature. Even so, it might be hard not to get too much involved with it if it ever becomes your full-time job and your main income source. In my experience, I have some periods at which I really don't feel like making art, and feeling the pressure to do anything because of money would be terrible. Even if it's my personal art, I usually enjoy creating. Yeah, that's why all these insane mangakas end up just taking hiatus after hiatus, because yeah, they make a lot of money out of that, but at some point they just don't feel like creating, or they can't create anymore. I agree with that. Like, yeah, I don't know how I would feel, because the times I've been paid to make art, I've managed to just do it without much suffering, but that didn't last like super long. So, and also it was not personal art, so it feels really transactional. So I don't know how I would feel about. Hopefully, if I can ever monetize my personal art, it can be in a way that I decide how much I make, and you know, it's simple. If you just don't release constant work, you will get less money that year, but that's all. And I also see it in two different ways, because for me, one thing is making art in the sense of making things and pieces and ideas that I want to make, and then there is the art practice. And I'm totally okay with the idea of drawing on a daily basis as a as a practice, as an activity, as a routine, as a maintenance. I don't feel any issues with doing this, even if I don't quote unquote feel like drawing or making art. I can just sit and practice, even if it's just for an hour or two a day. Like, it's something that I can quote unquote force without forcing. It doesn't feel unnatural or awful or not enjoyable. But yeah, the idea of actually making something you care about when you don't care or you don't feel like it, it's disturbing, to say the least. Yeah, faking a relationship with someone, except that someone is yourself. And yeah, it's exactly that. You cannot really fake it. I think that's why it's also good to have multiple personal projects, because that way you don't feel like you're not making the things you want to do when you don't want to do them. Because we all have more ideas and more projects and more goals than we could realistically ever make. But if you have a bunch of projects that you can still have a main project, but if you have a bunch of projects you can work on, I think it's good to just alternate them. Yeah, but that's the thing. To a degree, once you do it long enough, making art can become like making pizzas. It can be something you do, even if you don't feel like it, even if it feels like it's a shit day, even if it feels like it's not gonna go anywhere. You can still sit down and draw, and you will draw beautiful drawings or make beautiful songs or whatever it is what you make, because it doesn't really happen at a conscious level. And the other way around as well, even if you are making pizzas, making a pizza can become an art. Like, you can make the pizza like the same way you would paint, or you would make a song, or you would dance, or you would do anything, because It's just the mindset you adopt when you're doing it. That's the main difference. And yeah, like that's in theory, but if you can master those two things, you have a lot sorted in life. Oh no, I can do any fucking shit job in the world. I can be just hitting a world with fucking bricks or whatever it takes. And I can just have the same mindset of chilling and meditation that I have when I'm painting. So yeah, why wouldn't it be the other way around too? Okay, I think I've been staring at this for long enough. I've pushed this brush as much as I can. That's a superpower. Yeah, but that's what I said, like I can do that if my job doesn't involve much, how do you call it, executive power. If I don't have to be super involved, if I don't have to make many decisions, if it's like a repetitive task, like you're painting a wall or you're cleaning up horse poop or you're just carrying heavy weights from one room to another, I can do that for 12 hours a day and be on a zen state and enjoy it. If you know, I'm not surrounded by assholes trying to make my life impossible, that's usually what happens at a job. But if I get over that phase, like doing the job, it's not a problem. It's something that I can even enjoy. It's really hard to practically find that at any working place, because you will always have to deal with people and changes and stuff. But yeah, it does feel like a superpower when you have it all together. Got so involved in the conversation, I forgot you were painting. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about before with art streams. If you get involved as a streamer in the conversation and engaging with the chat, that is the cool thing about streaming. You almost forget about the painting. So painting becomes, it's just an excuse for me to start the stream. But in reality, I'm just making an IRL stream when there is people, you know? But when there is no one, I can just go back to the painting. Or some people can just show up, sit in the background, not interact, and they're just watching me paint. Or listening to my beautiful voice, because why wouldn't you? The superpower of ignoring people or the superpower of doing things? Because I'm telling you, if I have a job and I'm isolated, I know people hate it, but when I was working at the kiwi orchard or whatever, and I would get along with my bosses really well, so it was pretty cool. I could just honestly tell them, hey, let me go to the other end of the orchard where there is no one. I put on my headphones and I listen to my podcast, and I'll be working like a demon. And I can do that all day, and I'm happy doing that. But the moment you have to deal with other people, or you know, there are issues going on, or things get changed out of God knows what decision that it's coming from above, and you don't even understand anything, then it becomes hell. And then like the other issue I had with coworkers is the fact that me being in that zen state would piss them off, because they think I don't care, or I don't care about them, or I don't care enough about the job, or they're simply suffering, and the fact that I'm not suffering with them makes them not relate to me, and that creates issues. And it's like, dude, just I've done my homework to be able to be in this fucking state for as long as it takes in this job, so why don't you just try and do the same, or at least don't bother me? But if you have enough people in the chat, they can entertain each other, and then you just occasionally read a comment or two out loud. Yeah, I could do that. Entertain each other, people. feel like that's something I find attractive about streaming. That it's like, it's socializing, you're interacting with people, but I'm the center of attention. I can decide how much I talk and for how long, and I can fucking ignore the comments I don't like. It's so selfish and narcissistic, but artists need a degree of healthy ego, I believe. I think I'm unwilling to do the mental gymnastics necessary to feel good about giving my times and efforts to systems, EA jobs, if that makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense. You are too stubborn, so you suffer. I feel like for me the key point is the physicality on the job, because if my job requires me to use my body, it's a lot easier to put the attention in the body, not in the thoughts, and then it becomes like a workout, or it becomes like endurance sports like ultra running, or like, you know, marathon, or all that stuff. It's I think for me that was what did the trick. The fact that, because I also enjoy running and I can be a lot of hours out there in the hills just running, and I'm literally not thinking about anything because I'm just putting all the attention in the body, and I was able to transfer that into physical labor, and that made things a lot easier for me. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Just reading out loud a comment and completely fucking ignore them. So they know, yeah, I've noticed you, I realize you exist, and I'm gonna carry on with my life. I think that's the best thing you can do with trolls. Which is another thing that I find attractive about YouTube. I feel like it's a lot less likely that you find trolls on YouTube. I don't know, maybe I'm just glorifying this platform, but lately I found that the comment sections on YouTube and you know, the audience of streams, it's becoming healthier. Maybe YouTube is doing a really good job at just filtering comments and not letting me see all the bullshit. Maybe I'm just naive, who knows. Yeah, mods help too, that's true. I would love to have a chat that is like an army, so you don't need mods. Just get someone being annoying and the entire chat just mobs them. And that would be fucking awesome. Maybe I should start a cult. Oh yeah. Instagram comment sections is wrong. Yeah, that for sure. Oh man. I could imagine just people shitting on everything, like, out of no reason. I think TikTok is even worse in that front. I should try streaming on TikTok once. I think nowadays I should be able to handle all the negative comments, but I don't know. Still not healthy having to deal with that. I know a lot of people get destroyed. They just try to share their art and get a lot of shit from disgusting people on those platforms. You've heard that the comment section on TikTok is regulated. That could be. Well, it's a Chinese app after all, no? They're pretty good at smiling and pretending that everything is fine. It suits their government. So it would make sense. I don't know, I have a friend who is relatively successful on Instagram, and I know she gets a lot of shit. Even though most of the stuff is good, he just always gets shitty comments and people being annoying and confronting the shit out of her, taking things out of context. The usual Twitter experience, I would say. Yeah, it makes sense it is for how repressed they are, because it's a way out they find. And I agree with you, Kyo. Like the you know, the public on YouTube, like you don't watch a 40-minute video, all of it, just to then go to the comment sections and start ranting and yelling and complaining. So yeah, it's a lot easier with short content taken out of context. I think I should get used to working on my pieces with a double window or something, because I realize I keep looking at the screen in OBS where I have a smaller version of this drawing, just to check the values and other things to see if it looks good zoomed out. I know a lot of artists do that, like working on multiple windows of the same piece where you have it at different sizes so you can actually get to check all the values without having to zoom in and zoom out. But I had never tried it, and I'm actually using OBS for that purpose. I would have thought. Yeah, exactly. At least if you disagree, you watch the whole thing and you're gonna give your point, but after listening the entire opinion of the person. Yeah, because we don't have to agree on everything. That's why we have different ideas and try and expose them and debate, but and then there is this whole thing of the algorithm in YouTube. I think that, well, a lot of social media do it nowadays, even Instagram, that it's gonna show you first the comments that are more likely to be appealing to you. So it makes sense that for me I don't see as many, because usually I don't engage or interact with those comments, so it's just gonna show me the wholesome or interesting comments. But I'm assuming that if you always engage in ranting and complaining and all that good stuff the internet has to offer, then you would see a lot more of that. Yeah, you've read a lot of comments from people don't watch the whole video. Professional haters. Yeah. Maybe it's because the content I watch is not clickbaity or not triggering. Usually the content I watch is pretty straightforward, so just by seeing the thumbnail or seeing the title, you don't really have an idea of what's the main point, so you kind of have to watch the entire video, and that's less likely to make people hate you. But usually when you go for really clickbaity things, you get people to just watch the entire video out of the title or the thumbnail. Let's see, so the dislike button does something. Yeah, man, remember when that was a thing? You could go to places and it was normal. There was a like button and a dislike button. But nowadays it's like no freaking platform has the dislike button anymore, because, ooh, we might offend someone if we disagree with them and we dislike that they're being assholes. Let's all just pretend that we are a happy family. Sit at the table and have dinner. It's so backwards. Yeah, the content people hate is what they get, because that's how the algorithm works, and I try to be really mindful about it. Sometimes I want to watch a video and I'm like, no, I want to watch it because I hate it, and the algorithm is trying to trick me, so I'm not gonna watch this video. And that way you can almost not train the algorithm, but almost get closer to what you would like. Although Instagram right now for me it's awful, because it's all just about ads, like grow your audience, you can make a viral video, you can get this, you can get so many followers, you can do those things, you're doing this wrong, your content is not boring, you can get all these viewers if you can do this, I can guarantee a viral video with 5 million, whatever. It's like, dude, leave me alone, I'm just posting more regularly than usual. Don't need to go viral. Just happy to open this sheet, see my friends painting things and share that with them. That's why Discord is so much better in that sense. I think Discord is the only place I actually enjoy sharing art, because I can go to a small server with a bunch of people that I actually know and share what I'm working on. That sucks. I know. Really hope I can make YouTube work so I can actually delete my fucking Instagram account. Okay, I've been recording this for God knows how long. I'm gonna run out of space in my hard drive so quick if I keep recording videos. But my master plan didn't work. I was actually hoping to use the streams as a free way to save my videos. And although I can stream and save at 1440p, I cannot download that video again if I want to edit it. I can only download a 720p version, which really sucks. My master plan for free storage failed. I mean, it's still a form of storage. And I guess if I really wanted to, I could just rewatch the stream and screen record the parts that I'm interested in, but that sounds like a lot of work I'm not willing to put. Yeah, you shouldn't gamble it. Go to bed, Evie. Don't be like me. Respect your health. Okay, I think it's enough. Gonna call this one done. Put you to the side. Humble it. Make your life more enjoyable. Wait, my tea is cold. I've been streaming for nearly 3 hours. Didn't realize that. Going to bed late and hate someone's content. Choose a random victim. Especially someone with very little views, that they're gonna read the comment and it's gonna affect them, right? Is there any tea left here? Some. I don't know if I would have the guts to do that. Alright, we'll try to draw Morgoth one day. Really sad Morgoth. Good night. Thanks for coming. And of course, forgot about my favorite thing in the world. When I have an excuse to draw a box, because the model is sitting on a box. Get to channel my inner Scott Robertson and put in practice all my hours drawing straight lines, boxes. Beautiful perspective. Beautiful box. Whoa, my playlist is gone. It's been 3 hours of playlist. It's been 3 hours of streaming. My goodness. Click replay. Just until I finish this drawing. Alright, so this is what we got today. And I'm gonna call it a day. Oh my goodness. Supposed to be a short one today, as usual. It's been 3 hours. Alright, Kyo, I don't know if you're still there, but again, thanks for your support, thanks for the interesting conversations. Have a good day.